Hi everybody, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos here, aka Kat. My friends all call me Kat, so I hope you will too. And I am here to talk about a tip for the writer's tip for blog, vlog, weekend on Women of Facebook Create. And this is a tip that I use a lot. It's amazing. It's parts. Yeah, like part 1, part 2, part 3 for any article or blog, especially blogs, that you're going to write. Here's an easy way to do this. You get your subject matter that you want to write about, like maybe like I wrote an article on search engine optimization, okay? And I sit down and I'm not going to focus at this moment that I'm writing on the 500 word count. I am going to free flow, and just write and write and write, so that maybe when I'm done writing, say I've got, 1,700 words, 2,000 words, I'm going to worry about it. Now what I'm going to do is go back into my article, and I'm going to make sure that I have my introductory part and a good conclusion. All right, and I'm going to start honing it, polishing it up a little bit, so that everything flows into everything. And then I'm going to go and look for the areas where I can cut. A really good area where I can cut, where I've introduced a concept or a thought, and now there's an exciting second part to it. That's where I'm going to cut it. Just before you go to commercial on a TV show, they leave you dangling with a part with something that just happened, where you've got to come back and find out what happens. That's what you want to do in the different parts of your blog. So part 1 is now going to lead into part 2. At the end of part 1, you have maybe 2 sentences. Join me, or join us. I always put us because I don't like to talk about me. Join us for part 2, where we will discuss how to find trolls that could be in your groups. Okay, what are the signs? What are the symptoms that your page is suffering from cyber trolls? Okay? And they're like, oh my gosh, I've got to get part 2 because I could have trolls. So that's where your first break is, and then you're going to go down to your second break and your third break, and you can cut your blog up to only be 500 words per section. Make sure at the end of the section you've got everything you would normally put in a blog. Your bio's there, your research information is there, your photo credit is there. And that's part 1, and then you do part 2, and then you do part 3, and then you do part 4, and you upload those into your blog with your, your dates, whatever you're going to do, or you send them off to a magazine if the magazine accepts, sections. Some don't, some love them. The reason having parts to a long blog is something that you really want to do, is people will search for part 2, part 3, and part 4. So let's say a month after you have published part 1, somebody comes across it in search engine optimization, and they say, oh, look, here's an article on cyber trolls. And they read part 1 and they go, oh my God, that's great. I got to go find out if I've got trolls. And then they start searching for your second part to your blog, and then they see in there up next to the title part 2 of 5 or part 2 of 6, or maybe just part 2 of 3, and they're oh my gosh, I gotta read this and I gotta go find the other one. And that's why having different parts, breaking your blog up to 500 words for each blog section, but having part 1, part 2, part 3, as many as you want. You can keep going for years. That's why it's important. People will look for your parts. And then for those of you who who would like to do a self-published book, a small one maybe, that you just put on your website. You take those parts, you make them into chapters, and you got a tiny little book to put up on Amazon. Okay? But we'll talk about that in another one. Until then, I look forward to your blogs on Friday. And again, I'm Kanavos, Queen of Dreams, looking forward to your work.